guys? Double Dog Gamer here. And you know what? We were thinking about what we were going to do for the vlog today. And I had a discussion last night with some guys on the Exile server about YouTube and it being a job. Because a lot of people think it's shits and giggles, you know, it's like the greatest job in the world. And, you know, of all the YouTubers I know and my personal experience with it, it's really not. I think people see it as like this dream job. And, you know, and that's because at the time when you look at it that way, it's your hobby. And when a hobby becomes a job, it's no longer fun. And that's the problem with it. Now, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers who do have the high life, who do, you know, have, you know, easygoings and, you know, fun things. And, you know, those are the guys who have the money to pay people to edit their videos, can post 3-minute videos every week and millions of people can view them. Those are the guys who are living the high life. But for the rest of us and all the guys I know and all hang out, you know, we have to strive to get 20-minute videos every day. A lot of guys like Royal, I don't know how partially Royal does this, but the dude puts out like 4 videos a day and they're all like half an hour long. I don't know how he does that. If I had to do that, I'd fucking blow my brains out, to be honest. But, I mean, it is a struggle. It is a daily struggle. And the struggle revolves around keeping everyone happy. Everybody's got to be happy. And no matter what you do, none of them will be happy. You will always hit a small minority that will be happy. And that's how it goes. You can't make everybody happy, and if you try, you're gonna kill yourself. I've gone through my moments. Everybody's gone through their moments of, you know, striving to make everybody happy, and you get to a point where you realize you're not gonna make everybody happy, and you should just do what makes your life easier, and you know, will make a good majority of everybody happy, and that's how you do it, and that's how you continue, and that's how you kind of keep yourself from going into a dark place with YouTube. The worst part about YouTube is that you can't be yourself. I try my best to be fully myself, but if I were to fully be myself, I would lose a fan base pretty quickly. If you disagree with somebody, or you make a joke they don't like, or you say you don't like a game, like I didn't like Star Wars Battlefront, I lost a lot of fans from that. A lot of people unsubscribed from it. That's how sensitive people on the internet are, and that's why you have to kind of censor yourself, or you end up losing fans. I mean, you could put up a video saying you don't like this game, and you could lose maybe 100 hardcore fans who've watched every single one of your videos, and they'll likely be replaced by 200 fans who watch maybe one video of yours a month. That's a huge loss. You know, you want to keep those 100 guys that are going to watch every single one of your videos. And that's what the struggle's mainly about, is keeping the hardcore fans and keeping them entertained. You know, the guy who comes in and watches one video a year, you're not going to give 2 shits about. He probably uses ad block anyways. And, you know, and that's part of the struggle also. I mean, I was sitting here looking at my reports not too long ago, and it's just ad block after ad block after ad block. And you see a lot of YouTubers who have hit that curve, and they compensated with sponsored videos. I've been doing quite a few sponsored videos. I got quite a few of them, quite a few more up. But that's where you get pushed with the ad block. It's not that I don't want to do sponsored videos. I mean, most of the games are really cool. I only take games that are actually, you know, decent or having fun. And surprisingly, a few I've never tried before, and I actually end up liking them because of the sponsored videos. So that's kind of cool. But it's where you have to adapt and adapt to the changing tide. That is. YouTube back in the day used to have some really awesome stuff for their partnered guys. I mean, the guys from the get-go who were in from the beginning were making retarded amounts of money due to YouTube, the ad rev and everything. Now it's not so much. I mean, between taxes and bills, you know, I have to save up if I want something, you know, nice. Like if I want like a new HOTUS Warthog, $500 Warthog, that's like, you know, 3-4 months of me saving. Which is, in this job, I mean, you know, fucking 5-6 years ago, and if I would have been in the same place, I would have been like, I can get it today. Boop, you know. But it's the changing tide. The ad revenue isn't there anymore. And you have to take the sponsored videos because they're the only thing that kind of supplements the income. And that's another thing. A lot of people think that just because you're a YouTuber, you're fucking rich. No, the guys who get like 2 million views on each of his videos every day, those are the guys who are rich. You know, the guys who get 50 to 100,000 views on each of their videos are okay, if you do it right. You have to do it right. I know a lot of guys who don't do corporations like they're supposed to, or, I learned all this the hard way. There's no guide to being a YouTuber. There's no how to do this, and you got to realize from the get-go that it is a business. It really is a business because you are making money through a service, which makes it a business. Well, the IRS, if you're American, or the taxes, likes to call that fucking taxable. So you don't know these things, and when it comes time to actually, and you're like, oh shit, I kind of have to do taxes and stuff, you usually get blindsided. I know a lot of guys, and when I talk to up and coming YouTubers now, that's the first thing I nail into their heads is, you need to get like an accountant, you need to like get ready for taxes, because it's, you may be making a couple bucks here and there, but you got to remember that you're self-employed, that's 15%, and you are, what is it, business tax or income, right? Income, that's 15%. So if you didn't set this up as an actual business, that's 30% of every dollar being taxed right there. And that comes at the end of the year. So think of it this way, if you made $1,000, at the end of the year you owe $300.
Wow, I'm impressed you did that good.
Fuck you. So start adding a few zeros onto that, and you can see how a lot of YouTubers kind of get blindsided, and they're like, holy shit, like, that's what? And they spent all that money, and they don't realize, that money was for taxes, and, and they end up getting fucked. Some of them make it through, but some of it, have to go and borrow some money somewhere. But that's the thing, you don't know how to do this, and that's, for me, that's half the battle. This is why I had to bring Mrs. Devil Dog Gamer in, because since I set mine up as a corporation, there's a lot of bookkeeping, there's a lot of, paying fucking taxes left every month, just taxes. This bill, that bill, this bill, the state wants this, all kinds of shit. And it's just, you mix that onto it. I spend at least 10 hours a day in this office. Sundays are usually the only day that I don't sit in here and do anything. And, every other week that's Airsoft. Half the day is Airsoft. So, I mean, you couple 10 hours of just recording with all that bookkeeping, taxes, and all the shit you got to keep up on, and it's a lot. It's a lot to really do. I've said this before, and I'll always reiterate it. YouTube is the best and the worst job I've ever had. It's the best in the fact that I have a fan base that just loves me. Like, you guys love me. That is the silver lining on everything right there. Like, you guys would do anything for me. Watch anything. I could put a video of a jar of mayonnaise on. It's not going to get 100,000 views, but a lot of you are going to watch the shit out of that video. You know what I mean? And that's just the love that's involved with it. But the worst part is, it's just, there's just so much involved. There's so much behind the scenes stuff. There's so much. I mean, yesterday, for example, yesterday is probably one of the worst days I've had in a long time. I thought I had everything figured out. I had to do a video with Honorby that was sponsored. It's a game that's not out yet in beta. Well, we went and recorded all the stuff, checked all my fucking, everything was fine, all my mics were working, everything was recording fine. Well, little did I know that once I hopped in the game, it would mute everything but the game sound. As in, once I got in the game, so we're recording, everything checked out, all my mics were working, everything was like that, because you check it all through Windows and stuff like that. Recorded for like 2-3 hours, check the footage, nothing but game sound. Like, holy fuck. So then, 2 hours later, we're still trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Finally, we were able to bypass it and figure it out. Don't ask me how, because it was just a lot of retarded button clicking. And started again. Well, I couldn't get any audio. Like, I couldn't hear anything from my headphones. My mic, every time I got into the game, would switch from this mic to my webcam mic, even though the webcam mic was disabled in Windows completely. Like, what the fuck? YouTube wouldn't play videos. I couldn't get certain web pages to open up. It was just this long, gigantic bullshit of a day, and it ended up being 9 o'clock at night, finally realizing my Logitech G930s, the fucking headsets I usually use, was somehow fucked up, and just completely, anything that had a USB attached to it, it was affecting. And I had to rip it out of my computer, chuck it in the trash. Now I use the razors. I mean, that's the stupid bullshit you deal with. Normal people don't have to figure that out. Their mic doesn't work, and they're like, I'm still going to play Battlefield. It's okay. But me, I'm like, it's the end of the world. But it's, this job, I mean, it has its perks. I mean, you get games early, you get free games sometimes, but I mean, that's not really much of a perk. I mean, I think the biggest perk that I've gotten is my Airsoft sponsorship. Like, I get whatever Airsoft gun I want. That's fucking awesome. Like, it's pretty cool. I wish I had a real gun sponsorship. That would be legit as fuck. But at the same time, it's just, there's so much involved. And this squeaky chair. I go through office chairs, like, at least twice a year.
No, more than that.
More than that. Because I sit in them for so fucking long. I mean, look at this thing. It's not supposed to do this. Like, it's not... And that's part of it. It's just, you spend so much time here. This becomes like a second home. Like, I actually dream about sitting in front of this computer sometimes. That's how actual bad it is. And, and it just kind of sucks. And a lot of other YouTubers are going to be like, yep, I know exactly what he's fucking talking about. But for you guys, you won't really understand it. Even if I say it, you really won't understand, the struggle, I should say. There's always going to be, and I kind of look at it as a road to the promised land. You got to look at it this way. Once you get over, and it doesn't always happen like this. I know a lot of guys who've done this. I'm not going to say names. But like, I feel like once you get to that 1 million subscriber mark, you're already guaranteed 150 to 200,000 or even more views a day on video. At that point, you're stable. Everything's stable. You don't have to worry about, am I going to be able to pay the bill? You got your bill covered. You're going to have a little bit left over. You got your bills covered. But I know a lot of kind of guys who's gotten to the million subscriber mark and get 9,000 views a video. Yada, yada, yada. You could do all this work and it could fucking tank on you in an instant. Like, this is a very, very scary, scary job. You have no clue how much money you're going to make each month. I don't know until I get the money from my network. Don't know. Have no clue. And that's last month's, or 2 months before is what I get paid for. So I could have a shitty month 2 months ago, and it's going to hit me now. And I'll be like, holy crap, okay. Now we got to figure out where to get some money to pay for the bills and stuff. Same with Twitch. You really don't know what you're going to get with Twitch. You can kind of guess with Twitch, but it's not for sure. And that's the scary part about it. You don't know how much money you're going to make. And to make a lifestyle out of it and to kind of live a life, especially raise a family like I do, I'm one of the few. There's a few YouTubers who have families, and I know the struggle for these guys. I mean, if you're a single guy, all you got to do is worry about rent. You're a lot better off, and you have a lot less stress and weight on your shoulder than you should do, per se, someone like me. Because I could have a shitty month and not know about it, and 2 months later, like, not realize it was a shitty month, just because, you don't know what the ad rev is going to be for that month. You can see your views are always the same each month, but it's always going to be different dollar amounts because of the ad rev, depending on what time of the year. So I could have a shitty month, and then it's not going to affect me until 2 months down the road. You know what I'm saying? And that's the scary part about it. It's really scary. You have no clue. And there's no staying power in this. Like, one of my biggest fears is, with everything going mobile and everything going VR, is there going to be a YouTube in 5 years? Am I going to even have a computer? Am I going to be able to record anything? Like, even if there's a YouTube, how am I going to record it? Like, am I going to have a hard drive in my fucking head and I upload it to YouTube? Like, what? There's no staying power into it. So, I mean, I try to preach this to a lot of guys, and I try to do this too as much as possible. I'm trying to work on new things. But you need to, if you do get money and you have money left over, you need to save it, because you never know what's going to happen. A year from now, YouTube could be gone, Twitch could be gone. You never know. You need to save it and kind of future-proof. Get a buffer, put money away. After tax season is over, whatever you had left over, put it in some savings account. So that way, if all this does fucking pop, this bubble pop, you at least have something to keep yourself alive and fed and a roof over your head for the next, until you can find a job. And, do that. But I mean, being a YouTuber is it's kind of scary. It does scare me a lot. I stress out a lot. Like, maybe, my biggest fear is just, being one of those guys that goes from, getting good views. And, another scary fact about it, I've seen a lot of people comment, like, what's up with your views lately? Well, this is another scary thing YouTubers have to deal with. School's back in session. Yay! So you go from, like, summer to, like, normal views, your winter normal views, to back to school where everybody's, like, crunching the books, not time for YouTube. And everybody gets this issue too, because I was texting everybody, like Baron Royal, everybody Fly. And we were all talking about, like, what the fuck? And we're like, oh, school, yeah. But I mean, that's my biggest fear. Like one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have like 5,000 views of video, and I'm gonna be like, fuck my life. I'm gonna be like, well, guess I'm working nights or something, you know. But it's scary. Being a YouTuber is scary, you know. But I love it. It's definitely interesting. I like being here at my house, not having to go to a fucking shitty job for shitty pay, and have to listen to a fucking asshole all day long. And just kind of be able to do what I want to do. Like, if I want to take a break, like, right after this and watch a movie, I can. It's going to fuck me over for the rest of the day, but I could do it. Like, you know, I could do it. I could wait for Mrs. Devil Dog to fall asleep and go record some stuff late at night, even though she hates it. But, you know, it's definitely an interesting job. I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. If you're one of those guys who are like, I want to be a YouTuber, you have to be a certain kind of person. You have to have a certain kind of mindset to kind of push yourself and, you know, kind of realize you have to be kind of very organized in a kind of broad spectrum, I should say. Don't look at me like that. I see your glaring eyes, you bastard. But you have to kind of be, not organized in a way, but you have to kind of know what you want to do ahead of time. Like, you know, I have 5 videos I can edit. That's 5 days worth of this. And then, you know, I do it a lot. I'll edit videos and render them. And like 2 or 3 days later, I'll be like, that wasn't good enough. And I'll delete it and kind of fuck myself over. But you have to be a special kind of person. It takes a special kind of person to be a YouTuber. Not just charisma and, you know, being funny and a personality, but you really have to be able to work hard. You know, really, really, really hard. There's a lot of guys who've just given up because they can't do it anymore. And it's, you know, that's how it is. It's definitely something I've known. I don't know if you guys remember, God, back in the day. One YouTuber I remember who just couldn't do it anymore. Sniper Raider Gaming. He was a Call of Duty YouTuber. God, back in the day, like fucking years and years ago. I used to watch him from time to time when Modern Warfare 2 was out. He actually had a good growing channel and stuff. Had a job with it, and just couldn't keep up with YouTube anymore. It was just too much to have a family, because he had a family at the time and an actual job. And you know, you get to that. Everybody gets to that crossroad where they start making more than they did with their job, and you kind of have to make that jump, whether to go to YouTube or stay at your job. And that's a scary fucking leap, because you're jumping onto something you have no fucking clue about at that point, and you don't know if it's going to stay that way or if that's going to be like that. That's a big, scary jump. And a lot of people, you know, they'll see the work involved and they'll see, you know, the time it takes, and they won't take it. They'll just be like, you know what, and just let either the channel die or just go to smaller uploads. I know there's quite a few YouTubers I know who have done that. It's just kind of been like, they got to that level and they're like, no, and just kind of let it roll. And that's how it is. It takes a special kind of person. And of course, you can't be an asshole, even though I'm an asshole, you know. I'm nice to other YouTubers. Like, I personally, I do have a few beefs, but those are, you know, apparent. But most other YouTubers, I respect what they do, you know. I'm not going to shit on what they do, unless you're a complete fucking cunt. And in that case, I'm sorry, I used the C word, baby. In that case, you know, go fuck yourself. But most of them, you know, I'll be like, hey, I've never seen your stuff, or maybe I'm not a fan of your stuff, but I respect what you do, man. You know, it's a hard lifestyle. It's a really hard lifestyle, especially when you have to travel. That sucks. I'm not a fan of travel. I don't like people. I don't like people around me. That's like when I go to the shows, I usually have to like load up on beer. Mrs. Devil Dog can attest to this. And so can like Shannon and Sacriel and a few other people. I get nervous in crowds. And my biggest fear with crowds is I've seen a lot of suicide bombers in like markets and shit like that where there have been a lot of people. And it freaks me out to have a lot of people around me, not being able to see what's behind me. And I really kind of get a little tensed up, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And you know, Baron and Fly can even attest to it one time, because we were at, what was it, PAX East, and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out of here.
You were in for like 20 minutes.
We were there for like 20 minutes, and they're like, okay, man, we'll see you later. And like, we just got up and left, like I was just done. But I can't take it. Like, I don't like people around me. It takes away my security blanket. I feel vulnerable and helpless. So I usually load up on beer, like really, really bad.
So if you ever see him, he's probably drunk.
I'm probably fucking trashed and you don't know it. But yeah, I mean, and that goes to the territory. I go out of my comfort zone, and I don't just go to shows to like meet other YouTubers or game developers. I mainly go to the shows just to walk around and have a fan stop me and be like, "You're Devil Dog Gamer. Like that alone makes my year when somebody stops me and like, oh, you know, I love that. I love that. Doesn't happen that much. It actually kind of does, but it's awesome, and that's what kind of makes it. And that's the whole reason I do go to the shows, is just to see the fans. Like I really am looking forward to PAX East and PAX South again, just to meet with everybody. And then I'll probably go to E3 too and PAX Prime. Oh, man, we got a lot of travel. But yeah, it's being a YouTuber, man. I'm telling you. And then I'm drinking my Call of Duty Mountain Dew. It's so good. So good. Fuck Call of Duty, but it's good.
Show them your display of cans behind you.
Oh, yeah. This is clean. This is clean.
Yeah, that's clean.
That's clean.
Look at all that. All that.
What?
That's like 2 days.
Actually, that's 1 day.
Was that all from yesterday?
I don't think these 3 are. I think all of this is from yesterday. Yeah, so the life. Caffeine fueled. But yeah, if you guys want some more real talk with Devil Dog and you want to hear, you know, I don't know, my thoughts and concerns on stuff and, you know, no bullshit perspectives and points of views. Like, I'm not going to fucking lie to you. But, you know, let me know. You know, this vlog channel is to kind of do whatever. You know, it could be funny, it could be serious, it could be whatever. I could sit there and fucking clip my fingernails for you guys on the fucking vlog. I don't care. You know, it's whatever you guys want it to be. Let me know. Talk to you guys later.